What's up, kids? How's everybody doing? I don't know if I have audio. Do I have audio? My Focusrite 2i2 is on the fritz, so I'm afraid to touch anything, including my desk. Thanks for joining me, you guys. Always happy to see you guys. Good. Thanks, Joe. So literally my Focusrite USB, it's a common thing where if you just touch, it shorts. So it kind of goes, it makes those pops for audio. It's not cool. So hopefully I'll be getting a new one for my birthday soon. I know what are we talking about today? Kind of the normal stuff, right? What should we have for the entry fee? The entry question. Yeah, new gear time for sure. 40 degrees. Everybody's talking about the temperature, except for the south. You can rub it in the north's face. U.S., of course. We've covered classes, favorite dice, favorite role-playing game other than D&D. Favorite publisher? Should do favorite publisher. I don't know if that's a good one or not. I think everybody knows mine. Could be small publisher, small press. Favorite gaming related food. Foodie Joe says food. I had one for this week, but I don't remember what it was. What IP do you want to see in an RPG? That's a good one. Favorite genre? I thought we did that too. That wasn't fantasy. Did we? Maybe we didn't. I don't know, Wayne. I should probably keep track of mine stuff, right? Favorite genre besides fantasy? That would be a good one. Fuzz. Favorite genre? Wayne, you win. Tell him what he wins, Sean. Favorite genre. Favorite genre. There's not. If you think about it, there isn't. I mean, is there a lot? Weird West. You got Weird West. I mean, I suppose there's Weird West, mystery, suspense, horror, sci-fi, space opera. I suppose if there's a genre of a book, there'd probably be a genre of an RPG, right? Modern horror, espionage, combine two, who knows? Horror espionage. Favorite genre other than fantasy. Fantasy's too easy. The RPG hobby's full of it. Full of it, I say. Fantasy, that is. What's up, Orcus Dorcas? Favorite genre. Let's not everybody chime in at once, please. Game you most want to get to the table. Did we do that already? Like I said, I should probably keep track of this stuff. I got one. I think. So it's been almost a year. Next month will be a year since I tweeted this. And I actually have it. I have the tweet, I think. I have it saved. 12/17/2021, I tweeted, "What RPG are you going to get to the table in 2022?" Well, guess what, folks? It's almost the end of 2022. Can you believe that? So if you remember, do you remember what you said? And what was it? I could pull up the tweet. Want me to pull it up? See if you guys will be like frantically flying through it to see if you can, let's see. I think Gaming and BS, I think I tweeted it from Gaming and BS. Yep, here it is. 95 responses. I don't know if each and every single one of you chimed in. Here it is. Boom. You might be able to do it. I don't know if you can do a search on that tweet. Depends on how long down the page, because you can page down and then just do a Control F in your browser and see if you can pull up your handle. The question I want to know is, did you get it to the table? What was it? And did you get it to the table? Did you stick to your word to say, hey, I'm going to run this in 2022 and dosh gone it, I'm going to do it. And I did it. As everybody frantically scrolls through all of those tweets. What was it? Did you get it to the table? Because in a month, I'm going to tweet that again. And I'm going to say, hey, did you get it on there? Did you get it there? It says, I see Kevin Keneally in there. Phil. I don't know if they've shown up yet. See how many other folks I see on there. Who else is in the chat that might be listed there? Harrigan, I'm guessing that you're probably not. A lot of folks that aren't in the chat responded. Maybe that was by design. I love the people who put like 20 games down, right? What's up? Morning, William. Let's see, just morning to everybody. Morning, Victor, Herman, Joe, Harrigan, Roger, Wayne, Brett, see ya. See you. Orcus Dorcas. Good, William. I am guessing correctly. I am an intelligent guesser. Who else is on there? See, I'm not seeing a lot of names. A lot of you guys aren't on Twitter, maybe. Or active Twitter. Still scrolling, not seeing a lot. I'm gonna post the same tweet and see what you're gonna get to 2023. Might be Discord. Yeah, I put it in Discord too, but what I should do is do it in Discord and then pin it for 2023. Not Evan Harrison Cass. I don't know if Evan might show up every once in a while here. Maybe not. I don't remember. He's on there. Has anybody moved to Mastodon? Where have you moved? Twitter is not the place to be. So there's not a lot of people that are in the chat that are on this tweet. I'm a little disappointed in you guys. I'm sorry. I thought I could count on you. There's Phil. Phil, did you see that? Hey, Phil. Phil has not moved anywhere. Give me a moment on the tweet. It's on there, Phil. Do you remember what it was? And did you stick to it? I think I can get it right here, actually. Here it is, Phil. Want me to send you the link, Phil? Let me just do everything for you, this morning. How about that? Should we do that? I don't know if Phil. Here, Phil. Nobody's moved. My Mastodon. It's going all right. I already had somebody get ticked off at me and misconstrue. It was a bad tweet, granted. They just went bonkers. Did a screen cap, put it on Twitter. It's kind of ridiculous. such a passive aggressive platform. Some of these social media sites. Sometimes it's it. I gotta say, I know, right, Victor? For sure. It's like grown adults. It's like the romper room for adults. It really is. For tangents. I'm probably guilty. Dice.camp is where I'm on for Mastodon. So does everybody know what Mastodon is and kind of how it works? It's a little kooky. It's very interesting, the federated piece of it, because you can actually tie other platforms into it, right? The beauty of it is anybody can fire up a Mastodon server. And with the growth and the flock to Mastodon, some of these guys are getting, like, our Dice.camp has gotten hit pretty hard. It's run by Sage Latora, Dungeon World fame. So he's running that instance, and he's had some people. It's funny, the blue check mark, $8. Some people are throwing money at individuals to keep, hey, scale and support the instance. But are you Orcus Dorcas? You're on there? You fulfilled. Well, what was it? I probably scrolled right by it too quickly, honestly. I figured you would be on there. Well, if you had a Mastodon account and you haven't been on there for a while, which is what was my situation. Actually, I had two, because I didn't understand the federation part. But now I've consolidated them. It's a busy place. Like, there's stuff going on, which is always the battle. It's just so funny how we adopt things in times of in I don't know, not dark times, but when things go awry on a massive scale, it's funny how quickly you can get things to take over. Mastodon, pandemic, and remote work. Like, it's just strange, the irony behind it, I guess. I don't know if it's irony, but I don't know. Oh, you just posted, Orcus. Come on. It's supposed to be a year ago. So Phil says so Phil's was more Merkborg, and then I think Rune Masters, was that the other one? Ran 3 sessions of Merkborg. Fantasy, all right. Never got Ruin Masters to the table, but I did run 2 sessions of Dragonbane, which is close, but not quite the same. Sure, that's fine, Phil. Interesting times. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, Phil said I'm gonna run Merkborg. I don't think I replied to my own tweet. I don't know what I put down. I'm sure I put it somewhere. It was probably like Alien. I don't know, something else. Definitely wasn't Forbidden Lands, because I've been playing that. Delta Green, maybe? I don't know. So, okay. So the question is, right now, do we do it for next year? Can you be honest if I asked you what you were going to try to get to the table this year and whether you did or didn't? Would you be able to admit it? I think we're all adults here. There's nothing bad about it. Stand up. It's okay. Was there a game that you wanted to get to the table in 2022 that you haven't? There's still time. There's still time, too. Holidays are coming up. Sit mom and dad down at the table. Maybe a cousin. I'll do it in both places, Wayne, because that's how I roll. We'll see. Watching the Foo Fighters on YouTube. Rosemary. Come on. So it was, what game did you want to get to the table in 2022? Did you get it to the table? And did you not get it to the table? Mine, I would have to think it would have been guessing. I don't know. Probably some for some free league game. What it's starting to creep into the holidays. I'm gonna probably be streaming on Saturdays. I don't know how many people are gonna be able to show up in the future for some of these weekends. So maybe we have to keep the same theme in the holiday season. Like, what does that look like? Have you posted what you're going to get to the table in 2023, or what are you going to change in 2023 about gaming? Is there something just in general? Like, is it the game, the group, where you play, how you run? Maybe you play more. Maybe you run more. Maybe you do more one shots. Maybe you try a different genre. Maybe you do more solo. Maybe you try play by post. Or there's a game that you want to get to the table. What does that look like? Should we do that? Maybe that's the thing. In 2023, we'll do it every week because it might change as things go on. In 2023, in gaming, as you're looking ahead into the future of role-playing games and your favorite hobby, what are you going to try to do in 2023? Just try to do whatever that is. Could be anything. Could be new game, new genre, new players, new style of game mastering. Maybe you're going to listen to more podcasts on RPGs. Maybe you're going to start making content. Maybe you start a blog. Maybe you're going to do your own home campaign. What is that? What is it in 2023? 2023, looking at role-playing games, this is something that I really want to do. What is that? Play more, play less. Could be anything. First one. Who's the first one that's going to kick it off? I know you guys are all frantically thinking. It's a tough decision. So many things. Very open-ended. Make it one. Just one. That seems reasonable. Don't get too crazy. Like, I'm going to run 500 games in 2023. Make it reasonable. See if is it something that you're really going to try to do and hit. Make it a goal. Sit back. Think of that vision board that you're going to make in order to accomplish this goal. See it. Close your eyes. Herman, I want to start a solo audio, maybe video AP of different RPGs. Solo audio, maybe video AP. Different RPGs. So you playing by yourself, Herman? Ty says I wanted to get secrets of cats for Halloween, but it did not happen. Right? We got next year. Phil says sure thing. Oh, he's talking about Harrigan. Herman's like, yes. Oh, interesting. So I did a play run of Time to Kill. It wasn't a great video. Solo RPG. It's a hit or miss. I don't know. It's not. I think there's ways you could do it that make it more appealing if you do some production with it, like the vampire 1,000-year vampire. It would be interesting. It's such a pretty book, and I think if you did it, if you really took it into consideration, if you really sat down and you narrated it and maybe did some B-roll with it, and then maybe cuts to like in-game, out-of-game, might be interesting. It's a lot of work, man. Video is no freaking joke. Let me tell you. Hats off to YouTubers. All right, so Orcus Dorcas says, I want to finish my second part of my American Liminal game I am writing. Also get Aqualair to the table and more occult-type games. Aqualair, not to be mistaken for Aqualung. Brett Pazinski, 2023, bam, run less, publish more. Boom, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That sounds like an affirmation. Phil says, I have a feeling I'll be running the same games next year. Just started Red Hand of Doom and The One Ring. Not sure either game ends before next year. Next year's end. Yeah. Yeah, that's the good and the bad about campaigns, man. You're like, it's fun. It's good. Everything's fine. Why would we want to end it? I don't know. Phil says, I want to run a Call of Cthulhu campaign. Doesn't matter which one. Masks. Herman says, Tale of the Manticore is a solo podcast, and it is amazing. Ty Prunty, never short on words. Ty says, for 2023, I want to GM more. I would love to do a year-long campaign. It's fantastic, Ty. What game would you play? Index Card RPG, Fate, Cortex. Harrigan says, I've got 2 Gold Star RPGs on my radar that I've played a fair bit, never run. Savage Worlds and DCC? What? DCC, okay, but I'm a little surprised at the Savage Worlds, Mr. Harrigan. Oh, maybe we should just do that for the Forbidden Lands group. Just rotate games, like do very short session arcs. Right? Rotate DMs. So we've got to crank through a lot of different games. Wayne Peacock, 2023. I want to help my friend get her RPG out the door, aka published, called Rustwater. Interesting. Want to know more, Wayne? Want to know more about Rustwater? I will put DCC Lankmar back on the map to actually run. Ooh. Dorcas. Also, follow up on my Night Below campaign. I promised my Brit friends for months. Phil says, I think an alien took over Harrigan's body. Yeah, I think Harrigan's an interesting one. Like, he's kind of, he's a little go this way. He's not about evolving or considering other things. I think he's going to become a Conan 2D20 aficionado before too long. Against the Dark Master, he's talking about, like, Harn looking at that and wanting to get into that just to check it out, which I don't think is bad, by the way. There he is. I got to pull him out. I got to pull him out of the darkness. That Gabe Dibbing. It's like Candyman. Against the Dark Master, Conan 2D20, Conan 2D20, and boom, there he arrives. What, huh? Somebody say something? Victor says, I would love to play more than a one-shot of anything. Almost everything I play is one-shots. Yeah. I think mini arcs is the deal. Like, I would probably want to do more mini arcs. I got caught up with some pretty long campaigns this year for sure. I think the only real one-shots that I've run or played was like at the con, BSR Con and Gamehole Con, and then some that I've probably played in, like Feng Shui, played in Merkborg. What else did we play? Played Rangers of the Midden Vale, but that was BSR Con, so it's all right. You get some one-shots into some con games. Orcus Dorcas Run DC is a blast. Get yourself a dead stamp at Small Gong. Gotta get a campaign. Not a campaign. Mini arc? I don't know. Play up to like 5th level or something. The funnel's fun, but it's just overplayed. Overdone. It's overdone. It's just, I'm tired of hearing funnels. Funnels, dead stamps, haha, gong farmers. Like, it's just the trope. I mean, Joseph might as well just, hey, we got a 0 level game for everybody to play. You'll think it's really cool, and then that's it. Farty McButterpants, good to see you, man. Good to see you, Nelson. So 2020, so some of the late arrivers, 2022, I put out like, hey, what are you gonna get to the table? Right? There was a tweet I'm gonna put out there in December from last year to see if people kept up their end of the bargain, whatever that means. In 2023, what are you gonna try to do in RPGs? Could be anything. Could be play more, play less, write something, do a homebrew. Like one thing that you're really going to try to accomplish in 2023 when it comes to RPGs. Could be different game group, could be stop playing virtually and play face to face, could be the opposite, could be a specific game, genre. What does that look like? What's up, Jason? Good to see you. Jason says, for all the dense hardbacks on my shelf, I'm content to see your janky house-ruled Gamma World campaign through the end. To see our janky, not your janky. Our janky house-ruled Gamma World campaign come to the end. Harriet says, yeah, for DCSE, I'm not talking funnels. Yeah, man. You might, I mean, I'm not opposed to playing the funnel to kick it off, right? And hope to have 2 like survive and then level up, and then you have, you're playing 4 people and you got 8 player characters. I don't think that's bad. We've gotten away from that. Like, it's always like one character, that's all you play. That's it. I think having like 1 or 2 isn't bad. I did it for Tomb of Annihilation. It worked all right. So I don't think the funnel is bad. It's just, let's play a funnel and then that's it. Oh, great. Like, and no spell duels. What? Level DCC is more fun. I'm burnt out on funnels also. Okay. Lankmar DCC does not recommend a funnel, by the way. Good to know. I know there's some tweaks to Lankmar that does appeal to me. I'm just not yes, Sean, but you could buy it and use like the new, like it's kind of that version of DCC and not need to know Lankmar. Because I don't know Liber. I mean, I got a book or 2, but I haven't read them. Victor, I wouldn't mind a funnel if it was the setup for a mini campaign for sure. DCC is one I've only gotten to play a regular level once. Same here. I think it was Michael Curtis at GaryCon once. He was doing a pilot. I don't know. It might have been for Lankmar before it was even a thing. Or maybe not. I don't know if I ever knew what the title of it was and if it ever came out. I think we played 2nd level guys. Play more. Farty's easy. Boom, bam, smash. Play more. Farty, play more. Yeah, are you going to try to play like weekly? Every 2 weeks? Once a month? Yeah, oh, and that's true too. And Harrigan said versus run. So is it play more as a player or just be involved in a game more frequently? And then what's that frequency? People want to know, Farty. Gabe says, I think everyone runs funnels to showcase that unique feature of DCC. And it's easy. Get a sheet, 4 characters on it. It's no fuss, no muss, no spells, right? Find the perfect group. Yeah, that's a pretty low bar, Herman. I think for me it would be maybe not doing the long campaigns. I don't know. I want to do Delta Green and finish Impossible Landscapes. Hopefully it won't take the full year. If it does, so be it. But maybe doing mini arcs, like, doing an Alien cinematic play, right? That's probably going to take 2 sessions, maybe. Depends. Yeah. Got to get a little more taste. A little more taste. Oh, it tastes so good. You play a campaign, you're not playing any other thing on my side. So Gabe says, I got nothing to change. He has reached RPG nirvana. By the way, Conan and Against the Dark Master for life. This guy. Fair. I'm not any better. The Free League is just, I don't know. It's taken over my RPG life. Although I'm running Delta Green, but still, just a big shill for sure. No question. Farty's clarifying every week you'd like to play. I'd like to get 2 weekly games. I like the idea of playing a bunch of different games, but that's tough. Learning new rule sets is tough. Yeah, for sure. I wouldn't mind getting into play-by-post and trying to, I don't know if I would run, though. I probably want to play first just to see how the dedication is. Like, am I getting overly tenacious as a player or not? And what would that transfer into being a game master for play-by-post? Because then I could play, maybe two games a week, 2 or 3. Phil McClory, Walking Dead. Spoilers. Victor, it's all consuming. I've actually contemplated looking at my RPG collection and getting rid of everything except for Free League shit. That's crazy. I don't know, man. Their production value, the rules, I'm not a rulesy snob where it's like, I just don't like how they handle X or Y enough to say, And I know some people, that's the thing. Like, I just can't get into this piece of their rule set. I don't know. Here's the thing, though. I haven't played all their games either. Like, I've got a lot of Free League stuff I haven't gotten to the table. Tales from the Loop. I've had forever. It was probably my first Free League game that I ever bought. Still haven't played it. Symbaroum and Forbidden Lands are itching the fantasy space. I've got plenty of Forbidden Lands. Aliens. I got quite a little bit of alien stuff. It's all kind of right there behind me. But Basin, it's just all great stuff, man. All right. We should probably get some. Ty says, I have a hard time wrapping my head around how to play by post. It's not for everybody, Ty. It's not for everybody. Just like a certain game might not be for everybody. It's all right. It's okay. It's a little slower. If you haven't seen the video with on this channel where I had Harrigan on, who is a play-by-post aficionado, it will either pique your curiosity or say it's not for you. There's definitely some hurdles, but there's some rewards too. Jason says DCC was a wolf in sheep's clothing for our group. It looks rules light, but we were so face down in that rule book, we ended up running People of the Pit using 5e. Really? Really? That is surprising. That somebody would look at something like DCC and say, nah, 5e is just a bit better. Now, having said that, Jason, I'm going to guess because DCC is just simply new, if you've got a group of 5e and they just all know the rules, it's a no-brainer, I would think. Tales is so much fun, especially when Ange runs. Yeah, sometimes I'd like to get into games and play in them first and then run them, but I don't really often get that opportunity. People of the Pit with 5e heresy. Artie says play-by-post can fill in the gaps between games. I run one game and play in 2 others. Just some updates before bed catch night. Bed catch night. Each night. Woo. I got specs on my blocking out 1 letters. Victor, PBP is just too slow for me. PBP is just too slow for me. Hold interest. I can't even imagine play-by-mail back in the day. Yeah. I don't know. I think it might be all right. depends. There's often times when I have my laptop on my lap every night in the living room, and I want to do something constructive, and then I just end up having it open and refreshing, social media or Twitter or Mastodon, like doing absolutely nothing. I'm like, well, I could probably be doing play-by-post. Anyways, let's get into whatever's going on now in today's RPG world. Shall we? Okay, fine, we will. You demand it. Oh. I do not have my page up. What is going on? Rosemary, you are. Okay, so let's just kick this off because why not, right? Phil alluded to it earlier. For a league, if 5e and D&D and Wizards is the 300-pound gorilla and it's always in the news for whatever reason, then guess what? I'm gonna put a bunch of Free League and what they got going on. Because why not, right? Free League, Walking Dead universe role playing game. This is a no-brainer. Like I don't know. I don't know of that many other publishing houses, RPG shops that is a better fit for this IP. And I try to say that without a hint of bias. Only because many things that Free League does is based around survival. Mutant, Year Zero, Forbidden Lands, Alien, to some degree. Twilight 2000. Am I missing one? So they have like the exploration pieces, the resources pieces kind of covered, stress. Even in Alien, they got different motivations as if you do cinematic play and things of that nature. So they'll be fine. It's gonna be great. They're going to take my money for this one. And I was telling people on the Discord, like, I've never been a big fan of Mutant Year Zero. I have the Foundry VTT and I have the PDF bundle, and then I have Elysium. But one thing that always turned me off from Mutant Year Zero is I don't want to play anamorphic, like, I don't want to play a duck, as Varian would say. And so this is and I really like The Walking Dead in its earlier, the first 5 seasons, maybe 6. The latter wore on me, and I was like, yeah, this just wasn't going anywhere. And everybody was kind of holed up. And I had the Fantasy Flight Games Zombie Apocalypse game, which is a very interesting one. I've touched on it here and there through Gaming and BS, and I might even have mentioned it on stream once. It's the End of World series. So it's like the green, the yellow, and the red books, and they're both each separate. One is the red book, is the zombie book. And what's unique about that game, which I think it's unfortunate it hasn't gotten a lot of play or publicity, because Fantasy Flight Games I think is a pretty decent shop when they were doing RPGs, but you're supposed to play yourself, and a zombie apocalypse slowly takes over the world. So you're literally running the game, and if you're running it in person, it kind of picks up from there. Like something happens and everybody you create yourself in the game, and people weigh in on accuracy. So it's a little weird because people will be like, I'm an athletic, like me. I could say I'm very athletic. Look at me, right? I'm an athletic. I've got athletic build. I should have this in this stat. And people could look at me and say, I don't think so. I don't think so, Sean. So you get like pluses or minus based on that piece. So there's an interesting like build system as it relates to it. And then basically you kind of, if you are very familiar with the city in which you live, and that's where your game group is, that you could be like, okay, what do you do? Where do you go? And then you go off. And I've always thought when watching The Walking Dead, like, what in the hell happens if all hell broke loose? Zombies aside, like, what would happen if, we had a electromagnetic power outage, a solar flare that just bombed out all electronics, like all electricity. And I mean, I'm not trying to be a doom, what do they call them? The doomsayers or whatever. Doom clocks follower, doom cult guys, whatever. But it's just, we rely on a lot of shit. Like the stuff that we used to know as humans, man, is just, I'm telling you, I'd head up to Brett's house. That's where I would go. I would head up to Camp Brett and, hang out. I would let Brett lead me for sure. Brett could be the leader of our little survival cult, I guess. But I do like the premise. Like, The Walking Dead blew me away when Rick wakes up out of spoilers. When Rick wakes up out of a coma and like, what in the hell is going on? Like, what do you do? Where do you go? And then like the first 3 seasons are just crazy because it's like this evolution of people meeting each other. You have certain needs and then you don't trust certain people. And it's such a, I don't know. That's me. And then it kind of got crazy because then all that took a back seat to the other things. So Walking Dead, yeah, it'll be great. They're talking about 2023 D6 based. So if you're not familiar with Year Zero, there's a couple approaches that they use with it. You're either going to use a lot of D6s, dice pool, or you may use the up to D12, actually even, up to D12 typically. Like Twilight 2000, Blade Runner uses that, and then it would be only 2 dice typically. So it looks like it's going to be based on the D6, which would follow the rhythm for Forbidden Lands, Tales from the Loop, Alien, those games. Even Mutant Year Zero, where Twilight 2000 and Blade Runner uses the two dice system. So I'm sure they're just going to go like, we'll just take this, we'll tweak it a little bit. I'm sure there's going to be relationships and ulterior motives, just like the show. You're going to probably want to go and do something that'll put other people in jeopardy, and then somebody will have to go and rescue them. And there'll be Forbidden Lands has strongholds, so there's rules of building a stronghold. I'm sure there's going to be something like that, and building quote unquote a base of some kind, or taking it over and making it your own, and what benefits come from that. And then, find the prison and then start growing vegetables, and then somebody else finds it and they want to take it over. And it's just, some of them will be very easy tropes to replicate, but how the players handle them will be interesting. So yeah, MYZ is not anthropomorphic mutants. That's a Gene Labs Alpha. Oh, maybe I am wrong. I was under the impression that the only human-based campaign for MYZ is Elysium. I think it even says that in the front of the book. This is a human-only campaign, which leads me to believe that all the other stuff is maybe not anthropomorphic, Wayne, but maybe it's, yes, you're playing a mutant. I don't know if I want to be a guy with wings like flies. Edge Studio is reprinting those four Apocalypse games from FFG as well. Yeah, interesting. Which is surprising because I don't know if it's sold a ton. You can get the PDFs on drive-thru, by the way. Farty says, play Delta Green game that goes wrong and shift into Walking Dead. Hey-oh. Ooh. Farty, you're onto something, buddy. You're onto something. Delta Green, Harrigan, I would like to talk to you about Delta Green using Year Zero engine. Because I wonder if you could probably take Twilight 2000, right? Turn it into a Delta Green game. I think that would be possible. Wayne Peacock Mothership Kickstarter update. They will be releasing the PDFs for the player survival guide and the Warren's operations manual on Cyber Monday, November 28th. That is a great day. Very good. That'll be a very, very good day. Yeah, good. Something to look forward to on my day off. Good to know. Thanks, Wayne. Wayne's so tied into this stuff. Are they still on track? I mean, Mothership was a zine. Like, what are they doing? That reminds me, I need to eBay my 4 FFG Apocalypse games before Edge Studio collapses the market for those. Hey-o, capitalize. Harrigan says they will likely use the encounter system from Forbidden Lands and Twilight 2000. Yeah, for sure. Oh, and Twilight 2000 has stronghold rules too. Cool. DG via T2K. Whoop. Yeah. Wayne, for me, Mutant Year Zero, I was thinking like, well, I'll be a human guy walking through and then I'll run into mutants, like things that were mutated, I guess. I guess if you're doing mutant and it's in the title, it kind of comes with the territory, but I don't know. Phil says, I think for Walking Dead, they go with a simple version of YZE. They're probably hoping to draw in casual RPG fans and won't use a more complicated version of the system. It'll be D6. They've already mentioned it. It's actually in this message, I think, if I'm not mistaken. It's on the website that they did, probably, or it's in this thing. But it specifically said D6. And I have to imagine they don't consider Twilight 2000 or Blade Runner in that same camp. Yeah. Fans of survival games may indeed lose themselves in fortifying strongholds alone. The place you call home should become a rich three-dimensional character with its own origins, attributes, and memories. Each session should feel like you're writing, directing, and starring in your own TWD episode. Where it goes is up to you. Yeah. Sign me up. Take my money. Same lead writer as Tales and Vason. Bam. For sure. Firing on all cylinders. Pa-pow, pa-pow, pa-pow. All right. That's all I have for this week. Just kidding. All right, let's give Modifius folks some love. Dune. Master of Dune. Adventures in the Imperium. This was announced on the 17th of November, a couple days ago. Masters of Doom has players taking over the feudal right to oversee Arrakis from House Harkonnen, much like House Atreides did in the novel, only instead of simply being a stand-in for a story already written, Shaddam IV of House Carino is concerned that House Harkonnen has grown too powerful and needs to put a smaller house he can control in place. Each chapter in Master Dune is a choice the players can make. Do they confront the Harkonnen on Getty Prime? Do they ask the Freeman or is it Bene Gesserit for help? Do they go to the great houses? What about the guild? In this campaign book, the chapters represent possibilities without forcing the group onto rails. Man, Dune, I've read the book audio version, so it doesn't stick in my brain, and I should probably stick to text, but never Dune's, then they got more in one book, man. It's crazy. Big books. I've not gotten into Dune. But here's more Dune. Anybody playing Dune? Adding Dune to my 2023 must-run list. Love the game and the support it's getting. Modifius, man, not to play those guys off by any means. And frankly, they probably gave the lift to get Free League where they are by doing a lot of their distribution early on. At one point, I thought they were one and of the same company. So they did quite a bit of partnering in the early days of Free League, and they do Star Trek, and there's tons of material for Star Trek and Conan as well. So Modifius not putting their quality of RPGs off by any means. So, what's up, Eileen? Good to see you. Farty. Spoilers, Farty. One thing I will just kind of like what I cover here. I did not know this. So Hasbro readying the Rookie and Yellow Jackets producer E1 for sale. So I didn't realize Hasbro was going to unload their E1 Entertainment One production company. I got to imagine they're using it for D&D. Yeah, Honor Among Thieves. So that's surprising. Maybe it's just something like, so between the unexpected impact of the pandemic and the fallout from it, combined with Hasbro CEO Chris Cox's announced commitment to making the company a major player in digital gaming, the rumblings were out there over the past few weeks, but this morning, Hasbro announced that it's readying Entertainment One for sale after the film and television production company received interest from outside buyers. First of all, it took me a while to realize that E1 was Hasbro, and then some of the things that they actually are behind. They acquired it in 2019, so it wasn't that long ago, for $4 billion. The move was originally intended to help Hasbro position itself as a multimedia player with plans to roll out its IP in film, television, gaming, and more, right? Makes sense. Disney, like, hey, let's be like Disney. We should be like Disney. Not anymore. Not only does E1 have a library of approximately 6,500 titles, but also has an active film and television business that produces and finances content such as Dungeons & Dragons, Honor Among Thieves, The Woman King, Showtime's Yellow Jackets, ABC's The Rookie franchise. For Hasbro's part, the company sees the move as a chance to focus on expanding important global IPs, such as Peppa Pig, oh, whatever, Transformers, and D&D in the gaming field. Company will be retaining the services of JP Morgan and Centerview Partners to facilitate a deal. I don't know. So it says, it continues, following our recent investor day where we introduced our new branded entertainment strategy, Blueprint 2.0, we received inbound interest from several parties for the part of the E1 television and film business that, while valuable, is not core to our go-forward strategy. This interest informed our decision to explore a sale process. I don't know, take the money, put it in somewhere else, digital. I mean, there's something to be said with stick with what you know. I don't know how lucrative E1 television and film is. Like how much effort, how much stuff you can't control that brings in revenue. I don't know. I wish I knew more. Because it may just be like, yeah, it's nice, but it's such a pain in the ass to manage. I don't know. So they plan, we look forward to delighting audiences of all ages as we focus on delivering truly market-leading Hasbro IP-related entertainment. Yeah. The Rookie is not. right? And some people probably look at it and go, huh? Hasbro does the Rookie? Well, I don't know. That doesn't make any sense. Have you seen the pink sign? Peppa Pig? I have not. So I was just surprised, like, not to know about it, but now I do, and there you go. And now you know too. So E1 is on the outs. Should we take an over and under? How much they sell it for? So they bought it for $4 billion in 2019. They sell it for $8 billion. Think they can get $8 billion for it? My guess is that they could probably still partner with them, right? I'm sure that activist investor had lots to do with that E1 decision. It's way too hard to have a TV film side hustle, especially with a very choppy streaming market. Yeah, for sure. For sure. And just to kind of touch on Hasbro a little bit and what may or may not be influencing them at the moment, their stock tanked a little bit, 10%, nearly 10%, nearly. They downgraded it from buy to underperform. Why? Why, you ask? The mighty Magic. Due to a deep dive on Hasbro's recent strategy on its Magic the Gathering releases, which has gotten some controversy in the press about like stuff going on. People, like, I know hardcore Magic guys that are like, I'm done. Like PTQ, Friday Night Magic, all the time, all everywhere, just all in. That's like, yeah, that's why I said screw Magic. So if you're in the Magic the Gathering space, you probably know better than I what's going on over there. But essentially, it's a lot of third-party market stuff that's in there, flooding of it, screwing around with the value. It's like currency, man. That some of this talk has been, yeah. Pointing out the deluge of releases was flooding the market. Hasbro is overproducing Magic cards, which has popped up recent results. Haas wrote, card prices are falling, game stores are losing money, collectors are liquidating, and large retailers are cutting orders. While Magic the Gathering currently makes up about 15% of Hasbro's overall sales and was recently touted as being Hasbro's first billion-dollar brand, Haas stated that the game's growth has not been because of an expansion of its player base, but rather by targeting existing players. Magic's grown primarily by extracting more revenue from each player rather than by growing its player base. One such example of this is the $999 30th anniversary set, which contains reprints of several rare restricted cards, such as the infamous Black Lotus card. Not only is the price excessively high, Haas noted, but the set also includes reserved list cards which Hasbro had promised to never reprint. This has created panic among collectors, and we're seeing collections being liquidated now that the scarcity value of Magic is in question. There's a guy here in Madison who he would show up with tons and tons and tons of cardboard boxes to Magic events here locally. His name's Dan. Can't remember Dan's last name. And that's all he did. I don't even know if he played much. He never played at the tournaments or the events, but he'd come in and it was like an exhibit. He was like the only exhibitor. 3 tables, cardboard boxes stacked up behind him, all over the table, have catalog books, and people would just flip through them and buy them, see what they were looking for, ask him. He's like, yep, I think I got it right over here. And that's all Dan did. He was just a Magic. I don't know if he had another job. I think that's all he did was trade, buy, and sell. And he might even go like tour, like around different areas just to. It's crazy. Crazy. So yeah. There you go. So as of this morning, Hasbro stock has rebounded slightly, although its stock price is down over 40% compared to the start of the year. So yeah, there you go. Hey, Magic. Do you play that to Magic the Gathering card game, do you? Oh yeah, it's good. What else? All right, we'll do this. Somebody's dead air. Dead air.
Descriptor room.
Right, so this video got posted on our Discord. Victor had seen it, I know for sure. That's Doug, by the way, from VC Gaming. Victory Condition Gaming. Doug was at GameholeCon. Very nice gentleman. Give Doug some love. So if you haven't watched it, check it out. He's going over the Dead Air Kickstarter and the game and some of the details. I have not watched the video myself. And if you're not familiar with Dead Air, it's on BackerKit. And it only has, as of this recording today, 11 days left. So I paged through it, just kind of floated through it. I like the premise. So if you haven't checked it out, here, this is Doug. Let me rephrase that again. This is Doug. This is the video I just posted. Dead Air Seasons. If you love The Last of Us, this is an insta pickup. And this is his thoughts. It's about 47 minutes long. Check out that video. And then, of course, this is the backer kit that he references. And there's 11 days left. It's in euros. Their goal is like 8,000. It's up to 54,000. And with over 600 backers. Looks fantastic. So here's the premise. Our ecosystem was dying. All of humanity's hope lay in Panacea, a scientific miracle that would repair the damage caused by centuries of hubris and neglect. Perhaps it was the sheer bulk of pollution to ingest. Maybe it was a flaw in the design of Panacea itself. Whatever the cause, humanity only had the briefest flight of hope before careening to the very brink of extinction. Panacea, created to be our savior, but had become the blight, and nature was devouring all as it reclaimed the lands it had lost. So this is a post-apocalyptic tabletop RPG inspired by eco-fiction classics such as The Last of Us, Station 11, The Girl with All the Gifts, Contagion, Nausicaa, of the Valley of the Wind, and others. It's developed by the team, the creative team behind Broken Tales, and runs the same game system Monad Echo, here amped up for a grim survival action experience. There's archetypes, thematic sectors, gifts, new awaken, blah, blah, blah. And then as there are stretch goals, they add some of these new archetypes and things of that nature. Now, my understanding, I don't know this system. I don't know if anybody in the chat is familiar with Monad Echo. But my understanding, this is a story game, right? There's a quick start. Click here to download the free quick start. Okay. So go there, download the free quick start. But, here's the thing. Sean's like, do I need another role-playing game? Do I need this? Will I get it to the table? I need to stop because Walking Dead's coming. Will this be better? Maybe. I don't know. They want to explore human ingenuity in difficult situations, as well as the abysses we can fall into when primal instincts like anger, revenge, or hunger guide us. Yeah, man. I mean, it looks like it's going to be a fantastic product. 6x9, hardcover, sewn bound book, 300 pages long, depending on the layout and unlock stretch goals. It goes into some of the details of the core book, like what happened, the world now, the game system, character creation. So character archetypes: athlete, fighter, criminal, expert, savant, explorer, leader, and manipulator. The rules for creating the community, where they live. There's a modular approach to developing territory, social dynamics, and areas of interest. The blight and its aftermath. The rules for generating crises. Ooh, this is a tempting one. Tempting. Then there's Brave New World. And then that gives like 2 more archetypes, 5 ready to use starting communities, 5 ready to use external communities, sectors. Oh, dirties, the dirty people that tempt us. System and survival mechanics. I gotta say, it's very laid out in what, like, hey, let's just give you all this information so you could just be so jazzed to kick in. There has some cool dice mechanics going on, though I'd have to try to get a bit to get the nuance. Yeah, I'm just trying to understand how this kind of flows, because I've brought this up before. Cold Shadows is another game I've been trying to get to the table for, I don't know, 10 years it seems like. And it's, it's an espionage game, Cold War, but it's very much story driven. It's all about privilege, and the privilege is about being able to narrate what happens. So if the game master earns privilege based on a bunch of little fiddly bit mechanics, it's then that game master narrates what happens. And if they don't get privilege, then the player does. And I just wonder how this aligns with trad games, right? PBTA kind of, I would still consider, like, it's funny, PBTA, I would still find, if there was a spectrum, I would still find PBTA-based games, you guys may disagree with me, to be even almost more on the trad side, right? There's moves and things of that nature, but they're still like characters. They still have their traits. You're still rolling 2d6. I don't know. Farty's he's giving me some lowdown here. Roll d6s, getting a 1, and you fail. 2d6 is success. You need more successes for harder tasks. Seems simple, straightforward. I like it. Gotta say, simple is not a bad thing anymore for me. I don't understand the question. Dorcas. Roll more dice to succeed, but risk the 1. Yeah. Okay. Got it. Sure. So it seems it's very, it sounds like it's very somewhat similar to some of the D6 freely games, right? It's all 6s are successes, and 1s are failures if you push. And then, so there's, I think, interesting dynamic there. Well, and here's the thing. Anybody who's done any free league research on the D6 based games is they typically put tables in those games to tell you the chances of success when you push. So it's interesting with this game. If a 2d6 is a success, then you're definitely on the things are going better side of the scale, where you don't have to have more dice. So it kind of offsets that having to push. Interesting. The subtlety is just how many dice do you want to roll. The more dice, the more your fail chance goes up. Prepping to run a game? Interesting. We'll post something on Discord. Yes, please. Doug was calling it an inverted MYZ simp system. I could see that. NYZ is not without its shortcomings, for sure, right? It's very based on the push mechanic. And those ones, when you roll and you're only succeeding on a 6, you almost feel as though you have to push because it increases your success chance a lot. At that same time, when you do push, then the ones that you've rolled typically come into play. And so you could still succeed and then have a setback is kind of that piece. So interesting. I'll have to take a look at that. We'll have to take a look. So very, oh boy. Oh, no. Meine Schwester. I'll call her later. So anyways, I don't know. I might have to get in. Oof. When is this supposed to come to fruition? Did they say? What's the target fulfillment? Oh man, when are you guys gonna get it out the door? Does anybody know, like, the target of them dropping? I mean, it's right there, right? It's right there. It's got to be like tomorrow, right? Right as soon as it ends, they can ship. There's a theme that I appreciate, and I think it's this. Veteran, PDF, playbooks, PDF files, drive-through copies, name in the book, all in. Ooh, 148 euros. Oh, I don't know. Looks fantastic. Design not final. What? Rewards. Yeah. Add-ons. November 23rd. Next year? Nah. It ends, the Kickstarter ends. No. Next year is the target date, Farty? Dead air here. Funny Orcus. That guy, he's going to be in town all week here. Tip your wait staff. Lots of videos. Why back? Retail. Come on. Shipping and fulfillment, November 2023. Thanks, Farty. You did beat me to it, so got it. Yeah, might be a nice gift in November next year. Okay, well, that's great. Figure I'd touch on that. Let's see. Where are we? Mr. Dune, Hasbro the Rookie. So let's get into News Digest, which we covered some of this already. More Dragonlance stuff. Walking Dead. That was kind of it for new on EN World. Thanks, EN World. Should we do print news? We'll go to print news. OSR for all, populated hexes, some zines, OSE stuff. It's populated hexes number 10, 11, and 12. If you're OSR zine craze, thanks for EN World for putting all this together. Lamentations of the Flame Princess, 9th printing, so a reprint. Never got into Lamentations. If kind of, when I was on Google Plus, James Raggy was around, and I don't know. I haven't heard much from the Lamentations side of things. No. Well, but it's the original. Core rules, reprinting. Warhammer Fantasy, Archives of the Empire, and Soulbound Artifacts of Power. Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay 4th edition. Those 2 books. Alan Barr, Crescendo of Violence. pretty sure this was Osprey, right? In a Kickstarter. Living in 2093 New York, a city that just doesn't care. A dystopian technological marvel where concrete high-rises brim with holographic neon as gilded mob bosses, flashy CEOs, and famous vid stars all strive to consolidate their power over the masses. System is unique cinematic neo-noir. I'm pretty sure that was kickstarted, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. Out of the Ashes, there's a quick start. Unique 2D10 system. Hardcover or softcover, quick start. In Out of the Ashes, the PCs are survivors seeking to protect and rebuild their communities in a world of deep magic shattered in war with a terrible evil. The war has been won against the big bad guy, the nameless emperor, but the cost was almost the ruin of civilization. Much of the land is corrupt and tainted. Monsters roam and seek prey. Surviving lieutenants of the nameless emperor stand ready to seize control of the world, but remain scattered for now. Spooked. Incorporated. Frightfully cinematic role-playing by Politically Incorrect Games. Softcover core rulebook. 20 bones, whether dealing with alien abductions. It's a unique game system. Ghostly hauntings, vampires, or giant insects. The PCs must solve the case, Scooby-Doo. They are trying to sleep, but the house seems to be plagued with lots of eerie noises, or they investigate the noises and find all the cupboard doors swinging open and shut, almost if in harmony. They've had enough. So you are a team of advocates and assigned to investigate the ghostly encounters. And more times than not, rectify the situation. Interesting. Lastly, The Dark by Disaster Tourism. System is unique using candles, a deck of cards, and dice. Interesting. It looks like The Dark. Soft cover solo core rulebook, $14. It's a solo tabletop role-playing game about being lost in darkness that seeks to overtake you and your desperate clinging to the memories of those you loved. You're the last remaining of a group of friends who set out for an adventure in the wilderness in Scandinavia. All was well until the path was lost in the middle of a dense forest. One by one, your friends were taken by an encroaching preternatural darkness. As you might, you cannot escape the tendrils of the dark. However, you soon discover that the memories of your friends and that of a love long gone anchors you ever so slightly to the real world. Interesting. It's only you now. Can you survive the dark? Probably not. No, I can't. Good to see not a single 5th edition based book. Hey! Look at that. Right? Not a single 5th edition based print book. I think that's a win, ladies and gentlemen. I think that's a win. Victor said I backed out of the Ashes. It looks really cool. It's sitting on I backed out of the Ashes. Not backed out of the Ashes. He backed it, called out of the Ashes. Get it? Sitting on my to be read pile. Dorcas, everyone buy Out of the Ashes, and that's not because a friend wrote it and I contributed a monster to it. Well, touch you. Crowdfunding. You know there's going to be 5 a year. You know it. First one, kick it off, 5e, bam. Is it funded? Yes, it is. 941%. Just goes to show you, man, games are great. But if you want to make money or you want to sell your stuff, source book, Itza's Guide to Dragon Bonding. It would be very... All right, so I've always wanted to produce an actual gaming, entertaining, like the what did Felicia Day do? The hell was the series? I don't remember what it was called. NeverQuest. I know somebody's there like, I know. The Guild, thank you. Thank you, Garbus. Good to see you. Thanks for joining. And another person pulled out of the shadows. The Guild. I would love to do that, but it'd only be just around the table. It would be like every session or every, it's Tuesday night again, and we go to the table. And there are just some people I would love, I think of when I go through this, and it just hit me right here, is I would love the guy or woman that shows up who owns every single 5e supplement ever, or the game de jour in the series. And they buy them strictly so that they can take anything out of there and just manipulate the crap out of what's going on in the game. Like, oh, let me see here. And they have this huge cart, like of a mobile library that they bring in every session. And they go, oh, well, here's where I got that rule. It's out of Itza's Guide to Dragon Bonding, a 5e supplement by Draco Studios, because it allows me to basically blah, 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 blah. And it's written right here. Like, yeah, like a live version of Knights of the Dinner Table for sure. Whatever, a spinoff. Like, we've all seen them. Nothing derogatory or anything. Like some of the shows get pretty hammered because they portray us as such knobheads sometimes. But let's face it, we have those characters at the table as players. But it just reminds me, like, it goes back to what I've said before during a stream in these 5e game books, is like, who owns all these 5e books? Like, who is getting all this stuff? Like, it's just crazy. And that's why I think a lot of people are like, no, man, core only, or only published WotC stuff, because this stuff has got to be just bonkers. Now, keep in mind, if you're a dungeon master, some of this stuff might come in handy to spice things up a little bit. But yeah, look at, I knew Phil, PHP only, man. Get that shit out of here. Individual would be asked to leave the cart at home. But here's the thing, Phil. In the production, right? In the series, they're always told that, but they always bring it anyway. Right? They'd have to. I need to become a writer. I think I got some ideas. I might have some wings. Beyond Corny Grun. Adventurer's Guide. System neutral, but OSR friendly. So this ends November 28th, as of this recording. So euros, it is funded. Want a toolkit to create adventures inspired by Polish mountain lore? If you're a fan of The Witcher or Polish folklore, this project offers system-neutral content for monsters, adventures, and tales to inspire your campaign. All right, cool. Dead Air made it. Look at that. Dead Air Seasons. From the World Anvil Publishing. So we just went over this. System, Monad, Echo. Wow, man. The most popular pledge is 148 euros, man. People are not screwing around with going in on that. So there you go. This one, Ultimate Fairies, Fey Monsters and Campaigns for D&D 5e and Pathfinder from Legendary Games. Sticking their stake in those two camps. Source book, $25 for the 5e version of the PDF. 432 page. What? A lot of faith. For 5e and PF2 second edition, Legendary Games is creating 2 books that will be over 500 pages combined. For Pathfinder 1e, you'll get the 432-page Forest Kingdom Campaign Compendium Omnibus Volume. Whoa, it's funded 968%. With 1 week to go. A lot of these have 1 week to go, right? We all know that. Ian World likes to post them like in the end stages. Titan Robotics. Somebody just mentioned this on Discord, on our Discord server. Rift's Titan Robotics. Ending November 30th. I'm glad because I didn't really know about this one. Source book. Savage Rifts. There you go. It's funded. Who said there's a crappy economy upon us? All these fundings. Eumorphica. Transhuman spacefaring roleplay from Sanguine Productions. Sanguine. An original system core rulebook. $19 for the PDF and POD options for the game. In a future of limitless space travel, physical bodies are not a disadvantage. In fact, there are no limitations. Adapt your body to any situation. Use it to get from destination after destination in this RPG that transcends our everyday for a future of astonishing possibilities. Transhumanism, kind of, right? Sleevin. 94% funded of $2,000. That's a pretty low funding goal. Or reasonable. 2 5e adventures, same art. More 5e stuff. Did it fund? Of course it did. High level games. It's an adventure. Well, what is that little guy? Angels? What? Bacchanalia? Holiday feasts and celebrations for D&D from EN Publishing. £7 for the PDF of the book. Of course it funded. 1,100%. It's a holiday season, a hedonistic solstice adventure from the fine folks at EM Publishing, Morrison Company. That's it. That is it for crowdfunding. That is it for print news. Bacchanalia. Bacchanalia? That's how you say it? I will take your word for it, sir. Bacchanalia. Bacchanalia. Okay, now I see it. Anyways, that's what I have for today. Thoughts? Can you just name a game 5e, the 5e game for 5e, which is 5e compatible, and still make money? Well, yes, Orcus Dorcas, you can. Duh, of course. No, go for all the 5e books, just the FL books. Yeah, baby. Phil says then you need the guy who also hates the cart and tries to burn it down every episode, but fails. Yes. I will call him Dill. All characters and any similarities are purely coincidental. Or they have the cart of books in the car just in case you change your mind. Oh, that's a good one too. Yeah, that's all there. Like just subtle writing pieces, right? The car of holding. Find the size of these Kickstarter books really crazy. You can actually use that at the table. Yeah, I'm telling you, man, it is nuts. The 5e ecosystem. Wow. Wowee wow. Ty says, I remember that I have I remember having suitcases with wheels on it to carry all the books I needed for a game. Too much now. Only carry an iPad or small print book versions and dice. Yeah. Brackus, Braca. Drunken revelry, plural, noun. Thank you, Roger. All right. What time is it? An hour and a half. It's been an hour and a half. Yeah. What's new? I will so Forbidden Lands for me continues. We almost died at a TPK encountering a ghost. Did I say this last stream? Did I play before that? I think we did. I think I did. Delta Green completed night floors for Impossible Landscapes. Pretty decent ending. Definitely reflecting back upon some of the things that I would have done differently. Nothing major, but story-wise. But it was good. A good ending. Now we're going to fast forward from 1995 to 2015. And we'll see how the folks have adapted to what they did in the end. And I won't say much about the campaign itself in case you're going to run it or play it. Thanks, Victor. And Victor is saying that because I've put out some of the sessions on this channel in video and then also on audio. We'll see. It's going to get interesting, I think. I have to get back to the players to something bad happened at the end. They had to make a difficult decision, and it's not one that normal people would make. So I'm wondering how that takes a toll on the player characters. And then 20 years later, what they become. So it's a really cool campaign. The guys seem to be having fun. I'm enjoying it quite a bit. But other than that, for gaming, what else? I have not received any new Kickstarters. I think I'm waiting on Mythmere Games to deliver the whatever book. I'm going to be disappointed because I have it printed in a spiral bound, print yourself, and I think it's going to be the same book because I don't think they did anything. They just re-released it. And then what else? Blade Runner should be coming. And I know I will run Blade Runner for BSRCon. So if you're not in the know, BSRCon is in January. We'll put a link in there. And it probably deserves a little bit of not only a plug, but an update. It's in January, but what is coming up soon is event registration. And patrons of the show that are supporting me are going to be able to register November 26th is the next date. So if you're a patron of the show, I'm going to open up. Well, that's going to be tricky because I got to find the people I don't have a lot of backers, but I will give them the opportunity to sign up for events first. It's the least I could do. Event submissions are still going on. They will continue to be open all the way up until the Friday of the con in January 20th, 2023. So there's plenty of time to submit events, but if you are going to run, submit them so that people know that it's on the books. And we've got, it looks like, just to give you a ballpark of the amount of events, and some of them are duplicates, like the painting room is in there, the social is in there. So take those out, and you're probably looking at, there's 16 events currently. No, that's not right. Not 16. There is, doesn't say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, hold on. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 18 events. 18 different events. So definitely could use more. I'm going to put Blade Runner up there. I'll run Blade Runner. I don't know. I might run it twice. Depends on the nice thing about putting it on there. And then, so event registration, the 26 patrons, and then December. Better go to the main page. I think it's December. I don't even know the dates of my own convention. Event registration, December 3rd. Not far away. Last year, there were about 100, I think. Or was that attendees? Oh, I can't remember. I got my numbers mixed up. I can't remember, Victor. I'd have to double check. I could tell you right now. Hold on a second. See if I can. I think I can reference last year's. Let me see. Should still be in here, yeah. Oh, interesting. I get an error? Why am I getting an error? Like, if they're not there, that's one thing, but there's, oh, what? There was an update that they were doing. There was something they sent out that they were doing maintenance on the site. Maybe I'm hitting it during that window, but I should be able to pull up all the events from last year, and unfortunately, it's not displaying any of them. So I don't know if they archive them or remove them. So good question. Not sure. It's a good group of folks. Most of them are in the chat. Good game masters, and with lots of different games being offered. So it's also, I would consider a safe place to run a game if you've never run before at a convention. Virtual can be a bit tricky because there's some moving parts like audio and video that you have to deal with. And if you're going to run virtual tabletop, that can throw in some monkey wrenches as opposed to sitting at a table with everybody and throwing stuff on the table physically. But nonetheless, people kind of understand and have patience, I think, in this group. I don't have it posted publicly still. I mentioned that before. Once they get in, if we need more people, then maybe I'll get it out there. But if, like I said before, if you are members of other communities that you find good RPGers in and you want to spread the word, by all means. I trust you guys to be good advocates and ambassadors of BSRCon. So, yeah. Even tie. Well, what I was going to say. So, yeah, I'll put on, I haven't decided whether I want to run, because I could put, the nice thing about December 3rd is if you get a waiting list and you only submit one game and you get a waiting list and there's people that want to play, you just create another game and just run one game twice, which is nice for game masters because you don't have to like keep 3 different rule sets in your brain. You don't have to do twice the amount of prep. You can just use the same stuff, and it makes it easier that way. But that's just something I've been thinking in my brain. So cost is $10 for everything. And I'm going to donate half of it to Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. And I think that's kind of it. So, excuse me. So December 3rd, mark your calendars for event registration to open to the general public. And then if you're a patron of the show, then you'll get a little bit early. And I imagine events will be trickling in up until now. And I'll send out an email reminder to GMs to like say, hey, if you want your event filled, events are going to open December 3rd. Might be a good time to have it out there because it might be a little bit of a rush. $40 games last year. Okay, maybe that's what it was. I don't remember Harrigan. He would maybe know for sure. So it wasn't that I didn't answer. It's that I don't know. So yeah, please consider running an event. And with some of the events that are out there, hey, I'm going to sign up for this one. I'll run after it. Kind of coordinate your schedule a little bit better. I'm not preventing people from shuffling around, obviously. So like if you register for an event, something else comes up down the road later, I would hope that there's not too much of that, but I certainly understand it because there isn't a fine cutoff. It's the only drawback to having a cutoff. So there you go. It'll be fun. Running Saturday night game. Sweet. Sweet, sweet, sweet. So I think that is all I have for this week. I want to thank these folks for helping out. Appreciate all your support. And most of you have supported me for a long time. So thank you very much. What else? Play some games. Think about the 2023 thing. Like, what's some goals that you want to hit in 2023 for RPGs? Not New Year's resolutions, but like playing more, playing less, doing a homebrew, getting other games to the table. I'm interested to know. And if you're not a part of our Discord, by all means, check it out. You can get there by following a couple addresses. You can go gamingnbs.com/Discord. It'll get you there. Again, that's where you're going to have to be for BSRCon anyway. Hello. And if you liked what you saw today, put a like, subscribe. That's kind of the deal. I need subscribers. I hate being a shill and peddling subscribers for YouTube. Man, that's the thing holding me back from getting any coin is subscribers. Usually it's the 4,000 hours of people watching your video. That's a bit of an obstacle, but you guys have helped me hit that. Thank you very much. 4,000 hours you have to hit, and then you have to hit 1,000 subs. And I'm like at 400 subs. So it's a ways. I personally am at fault at that. I just have to put out some more content that's decent that attracts people. So live it's very spotty, right? But anyways, if you did appreciate some of this, hit the thumbs up, man. Or hit the thumbs down. Doesn't matter. It's all good. But otherwise, I'll let you go. Have a good weekend. Next week is Thanksgiving. I will be streaming. I don't have anything going on next week, Saturday, so I'll be here the normal time. If you happen to be at the in-laws or the relatives or at home and you're just getting up and it's, Saturday morning after eating a lot of turkey, pull it up on your phone or something. You could just put in earbuds and escape the craziness of the holiday if you'd like. If you are crazy enough to hit the shopping malls, good luck to you. But I should be here. I don't see any reason why I would not be. So having said that, actually, what is that date? The 26th. Ooh, nope, I will be here. The only reason I say I might not be is because my dad's getting out of rehab, so I got to pick him up. But otherwise, I'll be here early enough. Okay, starting to ramble. I'll let you go. Have a good rest of your weekend. Play some games. Take a break. Do whatever it takes for you to be in a good place. We'll catch you on the next one. Thanks, and be a positive force in the RPG hobby. Talk to you later.